Hello everyone, this is Mirela Sula, the founder of Global Woman, a global organization that has the aim to connect women of all cultures, ages and race. And I am very privileged today to have an incredible woman with me, Jane Goodall. The contribution that you have done for the world is, I can't describe it. I'm really honored we have you here. So a woman like you, how is it possible to be who you are today?
Well, when I ask myself, how did I get to do the things I've done? I go right back to my childhood, having the most amazing mother, a supportive mother. So that when I dreamed at 10 years old of going to Africa, living with wild animals and writing books about them, everybody laughed at me. How can you do that? World War II's raging, you don't have any money, and you're a girl. But my mother didn't laugh. She just said, you're going to have to work really hard, take advantage of opportunity, but don't give up. And the reward is that I've taken that message all around the world. And the number of people who've said to me, thank you, Jane. You taught me that because you did it, I can do it too.
I like this expression, and I can see that you had a great role model. That was your mother, that told you that there is no limit. If you want to achieve something, there is a way.
That's
and
right.
You found your way. So it seems that it's a long journey, but how it looks now since you started?
The way I look at the journey is that it seems to have been laid out for me, almost like preordained path. All I had to do was to make the right choice at the right moment along that path. And then one thing led to another, led to another. So it just happened.
But many women, they don't have the courage that you had. They have brilliant ideas, they think about it, they are scared. So you made the right choices, but is there any time that you didn't do a right choice and still you learned from it and you got the message and moved to the next one? So what would be a message for women that they want to make choices but they are scared?
Well, it's hard. Of course, sometimes one's scared. Of course, one makes mistakes. I mean, come on, you can't get through life without making mistakes, but you learn from them. And I suppose that I was born not only with a supportive mother, but I'm an obstinate kind of person. I don't give up. I won't give up. It's like, I'm not going to let that defeat me. But if you're not born that way, I don't know what to say to people, except please don't give up. You can do it. And I feel, one of my reasons for hope for the future is that there is this indomitable human spirit. And that indomitable spirit is in everyone. But some people don't realize it. And if you want your indomitable spirit to triumph, then you've got to help it. You've got to grow it. You've got to nurture it.
That's so true. So you nurtured your dreams, you nurtured your vision, and that gave you the courage to achieve things that you wanted in life.
And I also had the continual support of my family and others along the road. None of us can go anywhere without people around us giving us a helping hand when the road gets rocky. And, looking back through my life, so many people who were inspirational and helped me during the difficult times.
You have traveled all around the world, and you just told me before we started this interview that you travel 300 days per year. How this is possible? And through this traveling, can you share a little of your experience of meeting women that have inspired you?
Well, I meet many, many women. I mean, I've been lucky enough to go to different countries and meet many important people who've done a lot in their different countries, both men and women. And I think I've seen during my 83 odd years on this planet that the role of women has been constantly improving in many, many parts of the world. Certainly in Tanzania, where I spent so much time, there are many powerful women. And even before they were acknowledged, as they are now in positions in government, they were definitely the ruling force in the family, in the villages. And we talk about the wise women. The wise women have always been there. And fortunately, around the globe now, there's a growing awareness that women have so often been treated shabbily, not given an opportunity to nurture that indomitable spirit, kept down. And so now it's still important to go around the world and encourage women, encourage girls. And that's what we do with our youth program. In our Roots and Shoots program that's in 100 countries, we have many girls, and we just encourage them and work with them. We have programs to keep girls in school after puberty, when in developing countries so many girls drop out, get them to university. And, you know, it's been shown all around the world that as women's education improves, family size tends to drop. If we go on multiplying the way we have been, then there really is no hope for the future, because already we're using up many of the natural resources of the planet faster than the planet can restore them. And by and large, if you go out into the rural areas, it's the women who've been nurturing the environment. It's the women whose work has enabled children to go to school. And this is why one of my heroes is Muhammad Yunus, who started the Grameen Bank, mostly for groups of women, so that they could have a little tiny loan, and if they pay it back, they can get a larger loan. And that has done so much for the women we work with in different countries in Africa.
So women are learning that they can take actions and they can be in charge of their own reality. If we don't like this reality, and sometimes, honestly, I have to say, this world is messed up because we left it to the man's hand. Do you think it's time now that women need to take actions and be in charge of changing this reality?
You know, people are always saying this to me, and I always like the story. It's what they say in one of the Latin America tribes. And for me, this is the answer to it all. They say, our tribe is like an eagle, and one wing is male and the other wing is female. And only when the two wings are equal shall we fly straight and true.
That's so beautiful. So you're saying that this world needs a bit more feminine energy and work together with men, not see it as a separate or competing with each other, but coming to a place that we both work together.
I think that's so important, because there's male characteristics in women and there's female characteristics in men. And one of the big problems I've seen is that so many women, it's changing a bit now, but so many women who make it to the top, they do it because they're using the male type of domination and aggression and, you know, like this. I won't mention names, but I'm sure you can think of women like that. So we have to value the nurturing, loving, compassionate nature of women, which was important to enable them to look after the family, raise the child, nurture the environment.
That's so true. So the message is clear that we do not need to change our core values, but with our human power inside, we can impact the environment and change the world. Well, you are now for a big reason today for Inspirational Women Awards. What does this award mean to you?
Inspiration, I think, is simply somebody who does a good job and does the good job well. And because they succeed, they inspire others. And there's different levels of inspiration. You know, there are the icons like Nelson Mandela and so forth. But then we're surrounded by people who are inspirational. If you bother to learn their stories, you are inspired.
And to close this inspiring interview, can you share 3 tips for women that will watch this interview? 3 tips that you have learned all your life, the main things. I know there are a lot, but can you select 3 important ones?
Well, I think one important one is, if you're going to have children, be a good mother. And if you can't, from circumstances, spend time with your children, please ensure that there are people around the child who the child can trust and rely on, because that is one of the key things, early learning, the early experience. And because women are mothers, that's a very important message that I learned through my own mother.
Beautiful.
And tried to give to my own child. So that's important. The other is, you know, don't try and rise to the top and clamber over men by being aggressive. Don't follow the male pattern. Just be happy to be yourself, and don't be ashamed if you want to spend time with your children instead of earning some more money and having less and less time for your family. And finally, just as my mother told me, if you really want something, then be prepared to work hard and take advantage of opportunity, and don't give up. And be proud of being a woman.
Wow, these 3 tips really made my day. And I'm quite sure that every woman will resonate with it, and it's so important. And I'm very grateful you shared your wisdom with us, and it's a message for every woman in the world. Thank you very much, Jane Goodall, for being
Thank you.
here with us today, and for everything you have done for this planet.
I do my best with a lot of help.
Thank you.